G'day guys, and welcome to another day in paradise. So I'm down here in Jeddah. I've come down here for the day. I've got some stuff to do and I've got a person to meet. South African guy who's over here on a temporary work contract by the name of Dark Rider. But there's been quite a lot of problems for bikers in Saudi Arabia recently. There's been a lot of incidents involving bikes or quad bikes and the police. So at the moment, it's a pretty bad time to be a biker in Saudi Arabia. Let me explain my thoughts on that. So I'm on a couple of WhatsApp groups for biking groups in and around Saudi Arabia. One of the main ones, one of the busiest ones, is the Harley Davidson Jeddah Hog Riders Group. Now they're out all the time. They go out for about 4 or 5 rides weekly, and they are a really good source of what's going on in Jeddah. But as we're all part of the same Makkah region, what applies to them to a lesser extent applies to me up in Taif as well, because it's kind of like, you know, what happens in Southampton also applies in Basingstoke in the UK, because it's all part of Hampshire Constabulary. So they're a really good source of information of what the hot shit is. Well, there's been a couple of high profile incidents with the police that's basically turned them against bikers now. There was a video that I've seen, I'll try and get a copy of it, where some quad bikers, for whatever reason, I think one of them got stopped by the police, and a group of about 3 or 4 of them decided they wanted to take it upon themselves to attack the police. As I'm sure you can imagine, they don't take very kindly to that sort of thing over here. I would imagine as well, if it's anything like the UK, these guys probably didn't have any bloody licenses either, so even if they could be identified, they couldn't be caught and actually have anything done with them, kind of thing. So that appears to have started a crackdown on bikers for all sorts of minor little things. You do have your sport bike riders down here who are stereotypically prone to wheelies and speeding and loud exhausts and general antisocial riding, he says, with a sports bike with a loud exhaust, and is occasionally prone to some antisocial riding. But they're also pulling people over. They are checking all documentation. One of the big ones for the Harley guys is number plates. The police have decided to have a real good crackdown on number plates displayed on the side of the vehicle rather than at the back. So a lot of the Harley cruiser guys like to have their number plates at the side, sort of off the wheel arch, but they've had their bikes confiscated. They've actually had their bikes impounded if they've been caught doing that. And group riding is also now considered to be very antisocial, so any bikers that have been out in groups, they're instantly a target for the police. And basically the actions of a few have spoilt it for the many, which is a massive shame, but not bloody surprising, unfortunately. The second incident that's happened, which apparently only happened yesterday possibly, was a group of cruiser riders. I won't apportion blame to a particular brand of riders, but cruiser riders. A group of them are out and one of them got clipped by a car, and that then resulted in the entire group of riders turning on the car driver, and apparently they did quite a bit of damage to his car and were very intimidating, as I'm sure you can imagine a group of stereotypical cruiser riders could be. Now I know this is not the first incident of this type. There was quite a prominent video last year of a load of Harley riders on the freeway doing a massive group ride, dozens upon dozens, maybe even hundreds of bikes along the freeway. One of them got into a road rage incident with a car driver, and it just basically turned into fucking carnage. It's in this day and age of everybody having cameras and dash cams and social media, and everybody gets the cameras out to film anything that fucking happens, you've just got to be so bloody careful what you do, because even if you're in the right, even if you're defending yourself, even if you're, you know, sticking up for yourself against whoever or whatever, if you're the one that's seen and you're the one that's videoed and it appears that you are the antagonist, it just fucks it up for everybody, I'm afraid. Now, admittedly, the reason why I'm a lot more keen to take the 848 out is because, I now have all of my papers in order. I legally own the bike. Woohoo! And she's insured and she's MOT'd, and I am absolutely whiter than white. Well, from the ownership perspective anyway, not necessarily because of me riding. So it's a little bit easier for me because, as I say, God forbid anything should happen, God forbid any, you know, police should take it upon themselves to want to have a word with me, God forbid, you know, police should take great pleasure in trying to fuck over the white man. It does happen. There are people out there that take great pleasure in it. So my shit's squared away, so God forbid I should have an issue, I'm covered. Unless I'm doing something stupid, in which case that's down to me. Basically, that is my own fault. So all is good. All is now spot on with this bike. She's serviced, she's MOT'd, she's legally mine. She's got a nice... Hang on, let me see if I can get off a shit bit of road. Oh, she's got the nice funky stickered up screen. She's got the standard levers, and she is generally running as bloody perfect as I could possibly have hoped for, which probably means she's going to brake on me shortly. What? You know it. It's a fucking Ducati, and it's me. Come on. You bastards only need to deal with Sod's Law. I need to deal with Murphy's Law as well. So fuck off. So, yeah, it's rather a fucking pain. But just as I get my, I get one bike, the sports bike, is all up and running, and she's absolutely spot on and perfect. And all these other fuckwits behaving like cocks fuck it up. Again, granted, it shouldn't be too much aggravation for me up in Taif, but we are still under the same sort of police province. So yeah, just think about it, guys. Think about what you're doing. Think about what you're getting up to, and just imagine that every time you get yourself into a little incident, whether it's road rage, whether it's filtering, whether it's speeding, whether it's dealing with any other motorists, somebody is likely to be filming what you're doing. Do you think the actions that you're about to carry out, do you think that what you're about to get involved in is going to look good if somebody else is filming it from a third perspective and there's no context of what happened immediately before? Just think about it. Because as I say, as a result of an incident with the police with some quad bikers, and an incident that I've been told about involving some cruiser riders, so actual motorcyclists, because the quad biker one, it was quite easy for the bikers to turn around and go, oh, we're being picked on unfairly because that was quad bikers. But actually, when you then escalate that to an actual case of road rage with bikers, that makes it a bit different, doesn't it, eh? So, think about it. But I'm going to sign off there. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget you can check me out on Facebook at DME Vlogs, and you can check out my Twitter and my Instagram pages, same handle, at Mr. Chip Murphy. So go and check those out. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Assalamu guys. It's too fucking hot to be wearing full gear, but I can't bring myself to squid. Right, where the fuck am I?